want to go to a couple people that I'm just fully intrigued by, but they are so new that I don't think they even have any music out there to go stream. But I am watching all of them closely because I think they sound amazing. First up on that front is Levi Turner.
Time's getting thin, it's hardly been eaten, but
I saw this guy on TikTok and I was like, is this some strung out coal miner? Like, why do you look dirty? But his songs are these incredible, haunting poems, really unusual lyrics. He has a certain draw with how he delivers. I'm so intrigued to see what he actually comes out with. Because some of his videos are like mega viral and important, good songwriters are commenting on them. Kohn is really having a big moment.
So if you see me tonight, you wonder why I look so.
Jake has one of these voices that the second you hear it, you are stopped in your tracks. Same way that people felt the first time they heard Coulter Wall and are like, is this a 95-year-old giant singing this song? Jake is 15 years old from my home state of Virginia, and he's recently had these pretty viral Radio West Virginia tracks that are all over the internet on Instagram and here on YouTube. He is wearing a Thicket shirt in them, so, you know, shout out to Jake. I appreciate the clout that has provided me. People are like, dude, that's badass. This guy's, like, amazing, and he's wearing your shirt. And I'm like, I know, but listen to his music. It's more amazing than my shirt. Frostbite, Hard as Stone. These are cool songs with great melodies. It's actually through Jake that I found the next dude, Brennan Edwards.
God gave me you and I'm willing to do what it takes to keep you by my side.
Another Virginia guy, a friend of Jake's apparently. I've now followed him on social media, so I put that together. What a crazy good voice. And it's just pretty. He has a very lovely, pleasant tone. And I love that we're getting some Virginia guys in that kind of Kentucky, West Virginia, Appalachian scene of people like Nicholas Jamerson and Cole Chaney and all that. Also in this category is the Castellows.
I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't.
You may have seen a few viral videos of these three very beautiful sisters that are like standing in front of a silo or singing songs like Something in the Orange, but I don't believe they even have any music out yet. They're starting to kind of put some original content out there, and their voices, their harmonies are just beautiful. Like, there's no way around it. It sounds so nice, and they know how to play the social media game thus far, and I'm pumped to see what they actually do put out. There's a guy I really believe in named Brendan Coughlin. It might be Brendan Coughlin, but I think it's Brendan Coughlin.
Looking out the ocean sounds I see.
He's from Texas, currently in Chicago, has been playing some covers, and now is starting to post some originals on his TikTok. To me, he's got like a poppier, folkier sensibility with some of that Zach Bryan earnestness that is cool.
If you don't like the sound that takes you steps and don't look back.
Like, it gives me shades of Mumford and Camp and even like Shawn Mendes sometimes. Really cool, like, melodic style. And then the last person in this category is named Brielle Etta. I think it's Brielle Etta. Maybe it's just Brielle. I just follow her on TikTok and listen to her gorgeous, sad, kind of like Phoebe Bridgers-y, slow, languid, awesome music. Love how she writes, love her taste and the stuff she chooses to cover. It's maybe a touch more in the folk direction than like the country direction, but we'll get some Something in the Orange moments and things like that too. So I would love to hear what she chooses to record. I hope that section's useful. I don't know much about most of those people, although I've probably contacted them, and I've probably contacted / have met the vast majority of people that I'm talking about here, because that's just what I do naturally. When I love something, I DM people and say, I love it. What is your deal? Do you need any advice? Do you need any help? Do you want me to introduce you to anyone in the industry? I'll do that. Just don't get mad if I have to give you a bad review in 10 years when you're like really rich and famous. That's why there's not any videos. Grady's watching alive or commenting back and forth or DMing with what he hopes is the next generation of country music. It's not a great business model, I'll tell you that. It's a big waste of time sometimes. Okay, here's everyone else that I really believe in. Aidan Canfield. I recently talked about his album in my last album roundup called We're Young, All Right. I absolutely love the energy on that album. He's touring with Riley Green on some shows I just saw recently. He's really starting to put one foot in front of the other. Go check out that album, so cool, and watch my review. Another thing I reviewed in that video is a guy named David Pugh. David Pugh's like just starting out. He's a guy down in Texas, and again, love the songwriting, love that it's bringing a rock edge to the kind of alt country sound, touch of Kings of Leon sprinkled in there, and very complex lyrics. I've definitely mentioned a number of times Maggie Antone.
If only you played football as well as you play girls.
I absolutely find her voice striking, beautiful, her writing is funny and cool, and her cover choices just show off a really amazing breadth of musical taste. She put out a cover album with Eddie Spear last year, and that's got her Lady May cover that went super viral, but she's been posting so much original content. Her writing's great, it's funny, it gives me like a little bit of early Casey Musgraves vibes, and I mean, that is such a compliment. There's a new guy named Kade Hoffman.
Worn out and tired of playing these games, I can't do it no more.
He is a Colorado cowboy. He's put out 2 songs that I think are stunners. One's called Bonfire Blues, one's called Hungover and Heartbroken. Like, imagine kind of if Colter Wall were making music that was pleasant and pretty. That's how these songs feel to me. There's like a certain, just like kind of gorgeous little lullaby factor about them, and they're just so simple and cool. A guy recently on my radar is named Austin McNeill.
Riding this old highway headed west to Tennessee.
I found Austin on Instagram doing some really cool covers and sometimes playing some originals, but the one that's out that I think has a ton of potential is called Carolina. He's actually based out of North Carolina and has like a little bit of a rock energy in his voice. I think he might even front a rock band, but I see huge potential in this guy. You definitely can hear the Zach inspiration, but some much more mainstream influence too from people like Luke Combs. And look, I'm gonna just say it here. There's a lot of artists that I think sound exactly like Zach Bryan. And while I think it's beautiful that there's so many people making music and trying to just kind of put their heart out there and do what Zach does, there's so many people that feel way too similar to me in a derivative way. And so anyone that I'm mentioning in this video where I also do kind of compare them a bit to Zach, it's because I think they spin it in a different direction and it feels cooler than just kind of trying to cop his style a little bit. Okay, y'all know I love Low Gap. They put out one of my favorite songs of the year, Mockingbird.
Ain't nothing but a mockingbird. You say nice things, but you still.
They got a kind of bluegrassy country sound, and I'm looking forward to big things from these young Ohio brothers. Evan Honer's really been having a few moments lately.
I think my doctor is a liar. I've got something, 'cause all I ever feel is pain.
He was very savvy to release a cover of Jersey Giant, which has kind of become the seminal version of Jersey Giant on streaming. It's way out streaming everything else, even the kind of official Tyler Childers sanctioned one. And he's got kind of like this coffee shop poet style about him. I love False Promises and You. That's a really pretty song. And he kind of reminds me maybe of Noah Kahn in how he writes and delivers. Tyler Halverson is cool.
Daddy wrote that check and you were gone. Seems like
Y'all have been mentioning him to me for a while. I think the first time I heard him was his song Beer Garden. And now I'm really into that song, Your Bar Now. He's cool with all the Texas kids and like kind of people like Muscadine Bloodline, so I just assume he's from Texas.
back to Midtown. Oh, baby, it's your bar now.
Mae Estes. I have talked your ear off about Mae Estes, her song Thinking About Cheatin'.
Thinking about cheating.
Her song I Quit Smoking, her song Roses. Her voice kind of reminds me of Leanne Womack, and I absolutely love her recent EP. Again, it's in my last album roundup video. Josiah and the Bonnevilles, I have no idea how to say it.
Blow me up, hold me down, split me like an atom bomb.
Some people knew him as Josiah Lemming back when he was a American Idol auditioner, but he's kind of taken this independent track lately and quit his bartending job and has been documenting him trying to make it as an independent musician for almost a year now, and he's having great success at it. Songs like Blood Moon and Tennessee Song and some of his covers, like of Taylor Swift's Anti-Hero, are doing extremely well on streaming, and he's got this sort of folksy Americana, reverby, kind of washed out, head in the heart type sound that I think is beautiful. I've been wanting that to come back ever since it randomly went out of style after just getting in style in like 2012 when we had the Civil Wars and Mumford and Lumineers kind of dominating the industry. I feel like Josiah is bringing that back with pride. Also, I always shout it out, but his song $6 Check, reflecting on how he lost his deal with Warner Brothers.
And I got a $6 check from Warner Brothers.
Amazing. Amazing song. I'm officially running late now for something I gotta go to, so let me mention Jonathan Peyton. I love his song Indifference.
And you know I don't wanna go on this way.
Does he have another song called Denial? He's actually on the Zach Bryan live album and sometimes opens for him, but he's an amazing artist and songwriter. Woodbox Heroes. This is a super group of Nashville musicians, including Janae Fleener on fiddle, Seth Taylor on guitar.
But I've made up my mind. Ain't nothing I can change.
And they're just starting to roll out some music, and I love how it sounds thus far. J.R. Carroll's been releasing music for a while.
You're the reason, girl, you take my breath away.
You might know him as the guy playing keys and the Zach Bryan live shows, but I've also been listening to JR's music for quite some time. I've definitely shouted out other than that on the channel before, but I want to shout out something from his recent Our Vinyl session. I love the song Bandit.
I'll hide in these trees till I wanna come down.
It's from the perspective of a raccoon. Have you ever heard a song from the perspective of a raccoon? Because there's one out there waiting for you to love it, you little trash pandas. Brandon Ratcliff has got some gorgeous music and a new album called A Tale of Two Towns. I recommend the title track as well as the song Grow Apart.
Guess you either grow together or you grow apart.
Hayden Baker's got some fun chicken picking. I mean, that guy can shred up and down a guitar.
Hard times call for harder liquor.
And some really funny traditional country music. Colton Venner is a great songwriter, total like Texas sad boy. And sure, you can go listen to his song Honey Slow that's got a bunch of streams. But I'm gonna tell you to do this. Go find that guy's Instagram and go find from like before Christmas a song that he sang called Santa Had a Rough Year. That's the one I'm into.
But Santa had a rough year, so there won't be much here.
And that's really, honestly, probably representative of how I listen to music. I like get very attached to certain random Instagram videos of people that y'all haven't heard of yet, and I just, I obsess over something with like 500 likes. There's a guy named Theo Kandel that has some music that leans a little more country folk. I think his sound really reminds me of James Taylor or maybe even Simon and Garfunkel. But he has a track called Flight to JFK that is so pretty.
You got a roll of film, oh honey, I got a night to kill.
I want that to be a montage in some sort of sweet Netflix romance movie, please. Emily Ann Roberts is feisty, she's funny, she's so country, and she's got this great kind of like 90s country revival sound thing going on right now, loaded with fiddle on songs like Whole Lotta Little and her new kind of I'm Gonna Burn Your House Down song called He Set Her Off.
Yeah, he set her off.
Which has a great line. Thought she was fragile like a flower, but she's fragile like a bomb. And he set her off. Everyone else that I have written on here, Leah Mason, Will Chapman, Rachel McIntyre Smith, Tucker Nicell, Trey and Lexi Penley, Hannah Dasher, Liam Beckman, Bella White, James Tucker, Drayton Farley, even some of the more mainstream people like Dalton Dover, or Jake Worthington, Ben Burgess, Meg Maroney, Bailey Zimmerman. They're really still kind of taking off too. So many. And then here's a side category of artists that I can see objectively are starting to pop, but I either haven't listened or I kind of don't get, and you don't need to know which is which. Elliot Greer, Austin Snell, Tanner Ursi, I don't know. I think it's Usry, Pecos and the Rooftops, and then Benjamin Dakota Rogers. I guess I'm admitting they're my blind spot, and I'm sorry if I missed your favorite, but that's who I think are cool, under-the-radar musicians that I am keeping my eye on right now. I sometimes feel like I get told, oh, Grady, you just make videos about like the big albums. I've never agreed with that criticism. I still got my indie spirit about me, guys, okay? I know there was a bunch of Morgan videos and Luke Combs reviews and all these things, but shut up. Why am I getting defensive? What a weird note to end this video on. I'm feeling a little manic because I'm so late, so goodbye.